But the biggest thing is going to be that historical plate. I believe that's going to be the catch, and we're all screwed. Hey, my name is Victor from Centric Auto Repair, where I talk about everything and nothing, both at the same time. Please like, share, and subscribe, and make comments. Let me know what you think about this channel. So the Jay Leno Law, also known as the Senate Bill 712, is a California bill proposed by Jay Leno and Senator Shannon Groove that would exempt classic cars from 35 years and older, and it would exempt them from smog check requirements. According to several news sources, the bill aimed to reduce burden on classic car owners and preserve California's automotive heritage. The bill currently makes its way through the California legislation. To qualify for the exemption, vehicles must be insured as collector vehicles. So that's easy, super easy. Go to Haggerty Insurance. There's a couple loops that you might need to get in, jump through. I know you gotta have a garage. It's gotta be garage. It's gotta be driven minimal. All you gotta do is send them a picture of your car inside a garage. Get it? So if you don't have a garage, don't worry. There's loops around that. I did that when I was younger. I didn't have a garage, but I sent a picture in with my vehicle inside a garage. They accepted it, and I got insurance. No problem. The California Air Resource Board, CARB, has not yet commented on the bill, but some are concerned that it would and could negatively, that's a hard word to say, impact the air quality. Now, these aren't everyday cars that people are daily driving. These are cars that are meant for weekends, once a month, car shows in the summer, so it's not going to be a huge negative impact on the environment. So if you one of the requirements, of course, as we talked about, is insurance. The other one is to get historical plates, and that's horrible. Why would I want a classic car with an ugly modern historical plate on there? I want my 1989 Chevy C10 with plates from that year. I believe maybe they're blue and yellow. So my classic car. My dad has a 19 Ford T model or A model. And they have the huge license plate one for a modern little one that says it's historical. That's ugly. It's not historically correct. So and here's the downfall on that, real quick, is who's going to say it's a historical car? So to get the historical plate, you got to have an application. You got to submit it. You got to tell them, why is this historical? And to people behind the desk, I'm going to say, that's not historical. That wasn't a cool car. Maybe you have to have the first Honda Civic SI ever made, or the last one. Why would they consider the middle one the 10,000th one made, or 10,167 Civic made historical? I mean, what are they gonna say? Like, this is historical, this is cool. They're probably gonna say, like, no, like I wasn't in the racing scene, like, that wasn't a cool car. So I mean, there's gonna be somebody behind it that's going to say it's not historical. So to have all of a sudden 1985's cars all historical, and everybody's in California are driving around in 1985's cars, it to me, that's a roadblock. I see a roadblock that they're not going to let everybody have historical plates. Two, every time I see historical plates, they're on a pristine car, a vehicle that's completely done. What about us builders or restorers that start off with the engine transmission, get it running, and we're driving around in rust buckets, but we can't get it smogged because we don't get the plate, because our pictures aren't approved, because the body damage or rust, or it's not painted. So I see a huge roadblock that they're just not going to let everybody, and maybe they intentionally put that in the law. Remember, they added these two. You got to have insurance, special insurance, and you got to have the historical plates. I think the historical plates are really gonna stop a lot of people. I think that's the way to stop this. I think that's the way to say no to a lot of cars. Sorry, you can't get the plate because you don't qualify, because it's not historical, which means I'm not going to give you a smog exempt on this car. So I think there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen, and people are gonna open their eyes to it. It's like, I can't get my car approved. It's not historical in their eye. It's just the normal Pinto. It's the normal Dodge. just a normal Ford. Like, it wasn't popular in that person's high school, so they're gonna say, boom, no, not approved. So to get this plates, they're gonna approve or not approve it, and it's gonna be somebody behind it. The original of the Jay Leno bill was just, hey, anything 35 years and older, you're smog exempt, and that's how it should be, just simple, smog exempt. It's a classic car. Another thing that I think when I thought about this, when I'm out there looking for cars and on Craigslist and Facebook Market, I'm looking at cars, and I'm always looking for 1975 and older, because in 1976 now it needs smog. I don't want to waste money on trying to get it to pass smog. Most likely it's failed. So you got a 1975 car, it's worth 10 grand because it's smog exempt, but you go to 76 and all of a sudden it's only worth 4 grand, and that's because it needs smog. And what's interesting now that I think about that is what's going to happen to these vehicles at that year. Now in 1976 is smog exempt because of this law. Is that price going to match the 75 now? Now all of a sudden everybody's going to bump up and say, hey, I want 9 grand instead of, you get a 75, yeah, it's 10 grand, but I got a 76, it's smog exempt now and it's running, and I want 9 grand now for this. And I think that's definitely going to happen. People are going to want more money. So in my brain too, now I've been looking to, if this passes, this is good. But now I've been looking for 76, 80s, and I can't say that word. Anticipation of this law passing. So I look at certain cool cars and stuff that I like, and I'm like, okay, this is an 80s. This will be smog exempt. It's cheap right now, and I can fix it up and not worry about the smog stuff. So I don't know if there's a lot of people out there looking and say, hey, I'm gonna swap this up because it's cheap, because it won't pass smog. They can't smog it. They can't register it. But once the Jay Leno law is in effect, they can officially be smog exempt. But the biggest thing is going to be that historical plate, and that's where the catch is. I believe that's going to be the catch, and we're all screwed at the end of the day. That we're really going to have to prove why this is historical and this historical plate. So that's my take on on that. I wouldn't invest in newer cars until they figure this out, and I think anybody who thinks that they're going to be smog exempt on their vehicles, I think they're going to be screwed, at least unless they have proof that it's historical and it's in pristine condition. So my name is Victor from Centric Auto Repair. Like and subscribe below. Let me know if you have any comments on this subject. Thank you.